back to Zonal Marking. It's us again, me, Amin, and Iskender. And today we're going to tell you about the great games in the Bundesliga that happened over Tuesday. So let's begin. So to start off, we're going to talk about Bayer Leverkusen versus Wolfsburg. The game ended with a 4-1 score. In the 43rd minute, Pongracic scored for Wolfsburg and made the score 4-1. After which, in the 64th minute, Arnold scored. And in the 67th minute, Stefan scored another goal to make the score 3-0. And in the 75th minute, Pongracic scored a second goal to make the score 4-0. And in the 85th minute, Baumgartlinger scored a goal to make the final score 4-1.
Yeah, and what I can say about this match is I was very surprised by Bayer Leverkusen's performance, because before this game they were ahead of Wolfsburg for 12 points, which is a huge gap. And Bayer Leverkusen, they won their previous two matches in a fashionable way. They scored a lot of goals. But Wolfsburg yesterday, they just used all their chances. Bayer were bad in their defending. They show some bad defending.
And surprisingly, about Kai Havertz, he usually either gave an assist or scored in every match so far, and that didn't happen yesterday.
Yeah.
And now moving on to Eintracht Frankfurt versus Freiburg. The final score of that game was 3-3. Freiburg and Frankfurt were playing great football, but the score started out in the 28th minute with Grifo. He cut in from the left wing and scored a great goal with his right foot, after which Andre Silva equalized the score because Kamada took the shot. The goalkeeper didn't catch it and it was a rebound, and Andre Silva just headed the ball in the goal. And in the 67th minute, Peterson scored another goal for Freiburg. And in the 69th minute, 2 minutes after Peterson's goal, Holler scored his goal and made the score 3-1. And that's when you thought it'd be all over for Frankfurt. But in the 79th minute, Kamada scored a goal and made the score 3-2. And in the 82nd minute, Chandler equalized the score for Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, this was a really good game. Eintracht Frankfurt, they finally looked like they knew how to score goals. But Andre Silva, he could have grabbed another goal. Kamada gave him a great pass. He was on one-on-one against the goalkeeper, but he just looked a little bit slow and he couldn't put the ball in the net.
And the next game that happened yesterday was Werder Bremen. They played at home Borussia Mönchengladbach. Borussia Mönchengladbach, I thought they were gonna win this match, but they didn't. And their last round, they lost to Bayer 3-1 on Saturday. But again, they didn't come on top and they lost again some important points. But still, they're in the race for the Champions League spot. And then the main game of the week happened in Signal Iduna Park. Borussia Dortmund played against Bayern München at home. This was their Klassiker, the biggest game of the German football. And Bayern came on top. They won 1-0. Joshua Kimmich scored a beautiful goal. He chipped over Roman Burki. That looked amazing. And now Bayern are 7 points ahead of Borussia.
Yeah, both of the teams, they went out and started playing attacking football, which I love to see. But I was surprised to see that neither Erling Haaland or Robert Lewandowski scored, with both of them being probably the best strikers in the Bundesliga.
Borussia Dortmund started very well. They were controlling the game. They had amazing moments in the beginning minutes. But like you said, Lewandowski and Haaland didn't score. I remember Lewandowski didn't have many chances. He hit the post once. Haaland had a little more chances. Like the one that we can remember is when he was inside the box and then Boateng fell and then Haaland hit it, but then Boateng saved it with his elbow. I thought that was a handball, but they didn't give a penalty to Dortmund.
And we saw that Borussia Dortmund, they tried to use Hakimi and Rafael Guerrero, the two men down the wings, to create their chances and attacks, which I think was a really smart decision because it worked out really well for them, but they didn't grab a goal at the end.
Yeah, when Bayern were attacking Dortmund right away, as soon as Bayern would lose the ball, Dortmund would wait and see for a counterattack, for a quick break. That's their strength because they play 3-4-3. That's the tactic that works now for Dortmund. I can't say that they played bad. Both teams played very good. And then when you look at the XG statistic, it shows that both teams had 0.8, which means they played for a tie because they had equal opportunities to score goals.
Yeah, and we saw that Alphonso Davies sometimes happened to lose the ball, but he would also recover from it and get the ball back as soon as he lost the ball.
Yeah, and Alphonso Davies' speed, his fastest was 35 kilometers per hour, which is incredible. And if you look at the statistics, the last 3 games Borussia Dortmund lost to Bayern with an overall score of 10-0.
Borussia Dortmund, they tried to make substitutions. They put in Jadon Sancho and Giovanni Reina at the end. They were trying to grab that goal, and Giovanni Reina, as soon as he got the ball, his first touch, he earned the free kick at the end of the game, and Rafael Guerrero, he took the free kick, which I don't think was the best decision. I think Mahmoud Dahoud should have took in the free kick because he's got great long shooting.
Yeah, and they also put Mario Götze, but these substitutions, they didn't make much of a difference. I think Dortmund played very good in the first half. They started out slow in the second half. So yeah. So to finish this video off, we have a little bit news to talk about. So speaking of Borussia Dortmund, they contacted Niko Kovac over the few months. What do you think?
I think they don't need to do that because they have a good coach that's doing really good there right now.
Yeah, and Borussia are in the second place right now. They didn't too bad in the Champions League. They're finding their style. They're finding the formation that works.
They're making the right transfers too. So I think they're doing really good right now as a club.
Yeah, and I think this was just not
speculation.
Yeah, and we have another news coming from Madrid. It's about Real Madrid. They don't want to announce their players' contract extension. This is weird.
I think they're trying to keep it a secret just in case if other clubs will start to approach the Real Madrid players, which I think is a smart decision. Maybe a little bit too much, but it's still a smart decision.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. And then we have another good news. La Liga will resume in June 12th, so we have more soccer games to talk about, to watch, and enjoy our summer. And then it's official that Serie A will also resume one day after La Liga resumes. So Serie A will resume in June 13th. And then another news coming from Italy, Massimiliano Allegri is ready to start coaching again.
Oh, I'm really excited to see him back at coaching because as we know, he's a great coach. I enjoyed watching him over at Juventus. And I would love to see him continue maybe with another club in Italy.
Yeah, I can say about Allegri that he's one of the most flexible coaches in Europe who can make some tactical changes during the match, can switch it up. Yeah.
And maybe he's the man that Milan needs right now to put them back on course.
Yes, I would agree because the rumor has it that right now 2 clubs are interesting, which is PSG and Man United, but I think this is not a good decision from PSG and Man United because I mean PSG, they won the league again. They're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Tuchel is doing very good job. He has an attacking playing style. He can fit all the PSG stars in one lineup, and then PSG are winning matches. They beat Dortmund. And Man United, I think Solskjaer is a good coach for Manchester.
He's adapting to Manchester United right now, so I think we should just leave him there and let him do his own job.
Yeah, but I think Allegri, maybe he doesn't want to come back to Italy. Maybe he wants to try something new. But then moving on, Squawka website. It's a very famous website, and they made a list of the best managers in the Champions League history. So in the top 10, it's Zinedine Zidane. Second is Pep Guardiola. Third, Carlo Ancelotti. Fourth, Jose Mourinho. In the 5th place, Louis van Gaal. In the 6th place, Sir Alex Ferguson. And then in the 7th place, it's Jupp Heynckes. And then in the 8th place, it's Vicente Del Bosque. And then in the 9th place, Rafael Benitez. And then in the 10th place, it's Otmar Hitzfeld.
It's interesting for me to see that they put Sir Alex Ferguson that low in the list because he's a man that's done a great job over at Manchester United and won the Champions League several times. So I don't know, I would probably definitely put him in the top 3.
Yeah, but how many times did Sir Alex Ferguson win the Champions League? I think it was once, which was in 1998, if
No, but then because Ronaldo also won the Champions League with Manchester
Oh yeah,
United.
that was 2 times. Yeah, when United beat Chelsea in the penalty shootouts.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, in front we have great managers like Zidane, who won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. We have Pep Guardiola, who showed some amazing football with Barcelona. He won 2 Champions Leagues with Javi, Iniesta, Messi, and co. And then we have Carlo Ancelotti. He won the Champions League with Milan, Real Madrid, and the special one, Jose Mourinho. He won the Champions League with Porto in 2004, and then made a trouble with Inter in 2010. And then next we have Van Gaal. I would just put Ferguson in front of Van Gaal.
I would definitely do that at least.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very interesting list. And then the last place manager is Otmar Hitzfeld. If you guys don't know, he coached Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich. He coached Borussia in the 90s, and then he started coaching Bayern in the beginning of 2000s. And then we all know Rafa Benitez. He won that Champions League with Liverpool when they came back from 3-0 with Milan in 2006. The night in Istanbul, the famous Champions League match. And then Vicente Del Bosque, again, he won the Champions League with Real Madrid. Yeah, and Jupp Heynckes, of course.
Yeah.
He came back to Bayern and then won the Champions League. Bayern were having tough times, but that man, every time he comes to Bayern, he just saves them.
Yeah.
Now moving on, we have news from, again, Germany. Like we all know, Bayern are very interested and desperate of signing Leroy Sané from Manchester City. That might happen this summer, but City, if they sell Leroy Sané, they're interested in Leon Bailey from Bayer Leverkusen.
I think that'd be a great transfer for Manchester City because Leon Bailey looks like the type of player that Pep Guardiola might need in his team because he's pacey, he's got good dribbling, he's basically he's got a lot of similarities to Raheem Sterling in a way.
And even Leroy Sané, very similar players, good at shooting free kicks.
Yep.
So I think it's a very good replacement for Manchester City.
Yeah.
And if this happens, it's a good transfer for Manchester City. And then if Leroy Sané comes to Bayern Munich, if it's even great for Bayern because right now they have a very powerful squad. And as we know, they don't want to buy Coutinho because they had an option to buy him and extend his contract because he's on loan right now, but Coutinho will come back to Barcelona.
Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate your support, and you can help out the channel with a like and a subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell after you subscribe.
And remember, all for football
and football for all.
Have a nice day. Goodbye.